Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. Welcome to my channel. If it's first time you're here, special welcome. I hope you enjoy it and you stay watching. First thing I want to say tonight, David has become a member. So Tuesday night members live streams. Gosh, it really will be. The gang's all here. So what I just want to say to David is this. Welcome to the family. But of course, David has already been in the family, really, but he just hadn't managed to join because he didn't know how to do it. But anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Be great having you with the members' lives as well. Now then, gosh, I've got a lot to get through tonight. And I can see you've all been here for a while chatting. Gosh, it looks like a members. It's not members only, it's public, but so many members here chatting, which is lovely. I love the little community that we've got. I love the way you all chat. Anyway, so I'm going to just say, you know, it's still time to make yourself a cup of tea or whatever if you don't like all the hellos and what have you. So hi Chumba, hi David, of course, hi Desi, hi Princess, hi, I've said hi to, hi 411. Oh, 411, the blue rope tied to a bridge that leads into the river. Okay, David, 411. Now, I know you're talking about like tarot readers and people, you know, all I just want to say is remember that tarot card readings can't normally sort of see things like that, but I'm not saying, listen, any theory is just as valid as the theory that was loaded by the inquest, but I'm not going to comment on that. I don't know about that. I would have thought, and we're going to go through obviously the autopsy results tonight. If there was any tying up or whatever, that definitely would have showed in some way, I think. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Hi, Daisy May. So there's a little bit of chat we have to go through between Chumba and David, so I have to scroll down through that. Gosh, you have been chatting a lot. Shelley, hi Shelley. Hi Rio, you okay? I hope you're okay. Hi Mellow Maggot, I hope you're okay. Yes, Chumba, hit the likes, people. Hi Tina. Hi Funky. Oh, hi Illy. I hope I'm saying that right, Illy. Right, I think I've got to the bottom. There's a lot of chatting there, but I think I've got to the bottom of actually saying hello to people. As always, if I forget to say hello to, well, I don't ever forget to say hello to anyone, but if while I'm talking somebody comes in and I don't get a chance to say hello, then I'm sorry, because I like, I appreciate everyone who's here. That's the other thing I want to say. So thank you to everyone who watches my videos, subscribes, all my members, anyone who has sent a super or bought me a Ko-fi, or even just watch. I know some people just like to watch the videos. They don't even want to subscribe because, you know, they don't want notifications and things like that. I just appreciate any of it. Thank you so much. Okay, now then, where am I going to start? I've got so much that I want to tell you tonight. So I did write it down, the order that I wanted to do it. Right, yes. First thing I want to talk about is I had a really encouraging email today, because, you know, basically, I mean, there may be some people that are coming in watching that don't know anything about the Nicola Bulley case. And if you don't, I just have to refer. I'll put the link to the playlist in the description or whatever. Hi, Fortean. Hi, Angela. And you just have to catch up, to be honest, because I can't go into the whole story of Nicola. But basically what happened was Nicola went missing by the river. 3 weeks later, she was found dead in the river, and then the inquest declared an accidental death. But a lot of us don't, it doesn't sit right with us, let's say. You know, that's been the verdict of the inquest, and some people say, oh, you've got to accept the verdict of the inquest. But again, it's so complicated to sit and talk about all the reasons why we don't feel confident about the inquest. I can only refer you to my videos, because if I started talking about all that, I would never get around to what I want to say tonight. So then sometimes we get a little bit dispirited, because we think, because a lot of us, we feel that there is something more to this case. Now, for me personally, and as I've said right from the start, I don't know what it is, but I think there is something more. But I've no idea exactly what it is. I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is this feeling inside me that something is not right in this whole case. So that's it as far as and you know, I sort of I always say to people, I just keep plodding on. Little discrepancies that come up, just highlight them. It's very difficult because the family have accepted the verdict, so we're not the family. So, like for example, I can't write to the people, to the Home Office pathology department and ask for or the coroner and ask for any transcripts or the autopsy report. Only the family can do that. You know, there's only the family really that can complain, but all we can do is keep talking about it, keep plugging away, and hope that something somewhere along the line comes up, you know. And personally, I will. Oh, Ali, there you go. You found out to do it. Welcome, Ali, again, also known as Susie. Hi, Lara. Yeah, a lot of green need sunglasses. Yeah, all these members, lots of members. It's brilliant. Hi, Sandra Roberts. I think I've said hello to Fortean. Oh, hi, Jean. Nearly missed you there. I hate missing people. I like to say hello. But sometimes, but then when I get talking or get, you know, distracted. Yeah, that's it. You have to trust. You have to trust your instincts. My instincts tell me there's something. So I don't know. Anyway, so of course sometimes you feel like you're just like casting into the dark. You get a load of trolling. Every time I do a video about Nicola Bulley, I get trolled like mad. I get nasty comments. You get this, that, and the other. And it's only really when it is a video about Nicola Bulley. So this part of me thinks, oh, well, that's because there is something. Otherwise, why would people bother trolling? And then there are times where I think, oh God, I don't think I want to do this anymore, because I don't like, nobody likes being trolled, even though I do. Oh, right. Okay. I do like to, what's the word? You know, I keep going, but and then whenever I get a little bit of encouraging information, then that makes me feel good that I am carrying on going. Hi, Cheryl. So let me just make sure that I haven't missed anyone. There's Shelley. I've said hello to Shelley. So now I'm going to have to come off the chat now and really concentrate, because I want to tell you what happened today. So today I got an email from one of my subscribers, and it was really interesting for me, because to me, you know, what I've said right from the beginning, and I keep on saying is, the police were totally misled right from the beginning. Everything was done badly from the beginning. But that doesn't, and by the time they realised that they'd been misled or things weren't quite right themselves, it was sort of too late for a lot of things, wasn't it? Like cordoning off the scene. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Some of the news from the time, what experts said about that, and how ridiculous it was. You know, someone goes missing, they don't cordon off the scene. They let someone take all the relevant evidence home with them. People are all over the phone touching it, touching the bench. Nothing's treated forensically. And I've thought that right from the beginning. That's what made everything off kilter right from the beginning. Anyway, this person contacted me and told me that somebody they know was because, you know, at the time, LP at Lancashire Police was saying that they checked all the, you know, on the various news conferences that they did. They checked all the CCTV in the area and blah, 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 blah. But this person knows for a fact, because someone they know works for someone. I mean, it's all, I know it's hearsay and that, but I'm just telling you as it is, who were there on that morning, but they weren't contacted for an interview because the CCTV at the garage is literally over the road from the bridge that Nicola supposedly walked over. Because we went, when I was in St. Michael's, we went in that garage and I bought a bottle of water and we went to the loo. There's a loo at the side because we'd been walking and that. And I mean, it's literally right there. So that would be the first place you would go for CCTV, surely, because garages do have CCTV, don't they? So if you've got a suspicious disappearance, you know, so I'm talking about in the 3 weeks when Nicola was missing, when supposedly they were checking all the CCTV, this, that, and the other. But this person who was there that morning and was on the CCTV on the garage was not contacted until ages after, Nicola had actually been found, sadly deceased, in the river. But I was heartened to know that the police, I do think they were on catch up. I wonder, is that why the inquest was delayed 3 months? You know, the inquest was, why would it didn't take 3 months to come to the conclusion that Mr. Adley came to. He could have come to that conclusion within a week. So why was it 3 months later before the inquest, the final results of the inquest? Maybe they were hoping that something more would come up, that they would be able to find some more information. So this person who was there that day and that was at the garage that morning was contacted well after Nicola was actually found. So not at the time, not in the 3 weeks she was missing. They had not gone through all that CCTV. I mean, the thing is, how long does it take? It's only one morning that they're looking at. They're looking at one morning of CCTV. They're not looking at, you know, like sometimes police inquiries, they have to look at months of CCTV or weeks of CCTV to try and find sightings of people. They knew what morning it was that she was last there, you know, last seen. So why did it take them so? They just didn't bother, did they? And by the time they realised that they should probably bother, it was too late. You know, well, not too late. So anyway, they interviewed this person because they were on the CCTV. They contacted who they worked for, and they had to track down who'd been, you know, actually in that vehicle that morning, and they were interviewed. So they were still doing stuff after Nicola's body was found. And I think, to me, that is how I feel. They were caught completely off guard from the beginning, just, you know, by things they were told about special vulnerabilities, etc. And they didn't treat it as anything but, I don't even think they treated it as an accident at the time. I think they were thinking it was probably a self-deletion. That was what was in their head right from the beginning. So they didn't bother looking at anything else until later. But the trouble is then things go cold, don't they? You know, the DNA, etc. Hi, Stuart. You know, there was something, you know, they didn't look into it. They weren't expecting it. I think it's because it was a little village as well. They're just thinking, you know, it's a little village, nothing ever happens. Hi, Persephone. I do love that name, even though I have problems saying it. I've said hello to Stuart. I haven't missed anyone, have I? Yeah. Hi, Neil. Oh, Funky, welcome. Oh, so let me just put Funky up there, and that means I have to again. Welcome to the family. Thank you very much, Funky. Funky. Okay, so right, let me just go back. Hope I haven't missed anyone again. Oh, thank you so much. Ellie, hi Ellie. Okay. Well, Neil, I didn't know if there was a school lollipop man. No, we don't know, do we? They haven't said. No, again, you know, nobody saw Nikki coming out. There was no CCTV of Nikki coming out of the river area, but there's no CCTV of her actually in there. There's the witnesses that saw her from a distance or with a phone in front of her face. Personifies. The thing is, there's lots of rumours, isn't there? There's lots of rumours, and you know, we don't know. I think police were sloppy. So that leads me to one of these. Hi, Sky. That leads me to one of these news things I want to show you. Let's go to that next. Now, you may remember this at the time. Yeah, so at the time, sorry, it's the Sun, which is not my favourite paper, but this is where it came up. And this was an ex-policeman, Martin Underhill, and he said on the 14th of February in this article for the Sun, the bench where missing mum Nicola Bulley's phone was found could be splattered with blood. And it could have been, couldn't it? We don't know that she, you know, the thing is, we don't know. I mean, maybe they have checked it since then. I don't know. And if there had been any blood, there would be. But luminol brings up any old stains, doesn't it? But the point, you know, whether or not it was covered with blood is not the issue. The issue is it was not cordoned off. It was not checked forensically. And Martin Underhill, he said at the time he fears the 45-year-old's disappearance could remain unresolved for months because investigators failed to send it for laboratory testing. Not only they didn't send it for testing, they didn't even cordon it off. See, what they should have done is cordoned it off, then taken the DNA of all the people who were around it, because there was all those people around it, and then removed that. And you know, I know it's difficult with a bench. There's probably a lot of people have touched that bench, but it should have been checked. The phone should have been checked. All those, the harness, the dog itself. You know, there's all sorts of things. Anyway, here's the iconic bench. Here's the, you know, and this is like, I feel like this is going to turn into like a place. You know, people will be talking about it being haunted and things like that. You know, it's so eerie, you know, and so many discrepancies. So this is him, Martin Underhill. He was the former police and crime commissioner for Dorset, the ex-Met officer who later became Detective Chief Inspector at Sussex Police and Crime Commissioner, thinks cops should have completely and utterly contained the scene after Nicola's possessions were discovered. The bench on the river, in my view, should have gone to a forensic laboratory. If Nicola had been attacked, because bearing in mind, we didn't know then what had happened to her. She disappeared. disappeared, you know, just miraculously. So anything could have happened to her. So if Nicola had been attacked, there could be blood spatterings on it. Sadly, it's still in situ. It is questionable, to put it bluntly. Do you know this picture here? Is there anybody else? This picture to me looks completely photoshopped, because Paul's head just looks massive. And Nicola, I mean, I know she was petite and what have you, but maybe it's just the angle. But I really don't like that. In fact, there's very few photos that I look at of them where I get a nice feeling. You know, you get bad feelings, don't you? But anyway, sorry, I shouldn't say that, because I have no evidence that Paul's a bad person or anything. No real evidence. Anyway, so then it just goes on to tell the story. Nicola was last seen walking her dog along the river in St. Michael's at 9:10 a.m. on January the 27th. Reported missing, blah, 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 blah. We know, most of us that are watching this will know about that. So police quickly said they suspected she had fallen in. That was their straight away what they thought. I genuinely think they didn't think she'd fallen in. They thought, because of what they'd been told, because of the welfare check and all this line that they'd been fed, I do think they thought she had taken her own life, and they just treated it as that. So 18 days later, and there is still no sign of the mortgage advisor, leading her family, friends and experts to believe a third party may be involved. We can't forget these headlines. Wasn't us thinking, only us thinking that a third party was involved or something untoward had happened. Everybody did. Everybody did. So he was a senior officer in the Sarah Payne murder investigation in 2000. And he says that worries focusing on the river theory could have jeopardized the investigation, highlighting some glaring issues with how it has been handled so far. He told GB News, what you learn on big cases like Sarah Payne and Madeleine McCann is that there are mantras you have to stick to. The first one is respect the golden hour. So the golden hour is that first hour, isn't it, when something, you know, a person's declared missing or something strange seems to have happened. Forensic evidence and witness memory fade very quickly, and you need to capture that in the first 24 hours. So there was no golden hour with Nicola Bulley, was there? Because that golden hour was spent with the police just giving everything back to Paul and sending him home. And then just, well, I mean, what was done in the golden hour? I mean, then I suppose they were calling in the Coast Guard and all this, searching the river, but didn't find anything. So Lancashire police don't seem to have done that. So it's not just us criticising Lancashire police. Underhill believes officers should have been conducting door-to-door inquiries from day one and immediately cleared the ground under their feet. I'd have expected the famous bench where Nicola's phone was found to go straight to a laboratory to be tested for blood spatters and hair. The Bulley family deserve better than this. We haven't found Nicola, and we could be in this now for the long haul. This could be a Madeleine McCann. Well, it didn't turn out to be a Madeleine McCann because Nicola's body was found. But in another way, it is a Madeleine McCann, because will people ever be happy with the answers? Something happened that day. So remember this. Nicola's loved ones are convinced she's not in the water and have pleaded with officials to scrutinise nearby land. Her partner Paul Ansell said in an interview, "You cannot walk your dog down a river and just vanish into thin air." Something happened that day. And do you remember from that interview? My plea now is, personally, I want every house, every garage, every outbuilding, the land scrutinised. And in fact, he didn't just say it like that. He said, I want it, you know, he's sort of suddenly this sort of man baby, like, got quite sort of, anyway, that interview, if you haven't seen the interview, it is looked at in some of my videos, and that it's It's a night. I think we have to remember that interview. That again was why people felt suspicious. We have to remember these things. They weren't for no reason. Anyway, so it says cops were yesterday seen scouring a caravan site just yards from where Nicola's phone was found, but most of their search has taken place in the river or out to sea. Search expert Peter Falding, we all know about him. He was drafted in. He is now hunting for sites where someone could bury a body without being seen. So when was this? This was in February, wasn't it? 14th of February it was published. When was she found? What was the day that she was found, Nicola? Anyway. And Falding that's right, because she was found just before he went to do this search, didn't it? He has compiled a list of ditches, woodlands and hedgerows close to where Nicola vanished and plans to probe them next week if she isn't found before then. So do you remember that? And then suddenly she popped up, didn't she? Falding told Jeremy Kyle on Talk TV surrounding land should have been searched thoroughly straight away. There needs to be a lot more done. Land needs to be searched now. And he said from experience, people are normally found within a couple of miles of where they disappeared. Okay, so that was the first bit of old news, if you like. I wanted, hi Claire. Hi Rustic. Oh, so she was found on the 19th of Feb. Yeah. So do you see, now that's old news from the 14th of February, but do you see now when you look back at it, because we forget these things. So that's an experienced police officer saying things that we were thinking. It's not us thinking these things should have been done or whatever. It's experienced people. Now, I'm just good. Hi, Claire. I'm just making sure I haven't forgotten anybody. Man Baby, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. I think, hi, Natasha. Oh, yeah, the Ice Bucket Challenge, yeah, David, if you're planning on robbing a bank, go and do it in St. Michael's on Wire. I haven't missed anyone, have I? I don't think I have. There's a lot of chat there. Hi, Natasha. Hi, Serotonin. Okay, so I hope I've said hello to everyone. I think I have. So if I miss anyone, I'm so sorry, but I just need to. So that's a piece of news from the 14th of February. We must remember these things, mustn't we? These discrepancies. Now, next thing I want to show you is my favourite, Peter Blackslit. I do like him. He's very sort of, what's the word? He's very condemning of just the police in general at the moment. He comes from a different age of policing, doesn't he? Where there was more gravitas, it was more serious. You know, I do feel it's not only policing. There's a lot of things, as you know, how I feel about politics. Everything's just gone to pot. That's how it feels to me. But anyway, let's see what he had to say. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can find him. Hang on, I might not be able to find him. So instead, let me just let me. I've got so many windows open, so I need to. There it is. I need to close some of them off. Okay, so again, not the best newspaper, The Star, but the point is, here he is, Peter Blexley. Quite like him, actually. Anyway, but besides that, so now this is something that he said. So this is the 19th of February. So this is after Nicola was found. And listen to what he says. Rampant speculation over Nicola Bulley will end if the post-mortem update is believed. So how he's astute, isn't he? Because he's saying there, So he says, a former undercover, sorry, I just need to have a drink, wet my whistle, as my dad used to say. A former undercover Metropolitan Police officer claims that Lancashire Police's handling of the investigation has caused rampant speculation over the past few weeks. Thank you. And I'd forgotten about this, what people were saying. You know, everyone whinging about, you know, social media and what, oh, you know, TikTok girls and this, that, and the other. But the speculation wasn't because of people. The speculation was because it was of the case and the way it was dealt with, and it was so mysterious. That's why people speculated, not because they've got bad minds, but because there were it deserved speculation. Didn't deserve anything but speculation. The police themselves were only speculating, you know. Anyway, so he's given a warning here, and he's been proved right, hasn't he? Rampant speculation over Nicola Bulley will end if the post-mortem update is believed. Well, we don't believe it, do we? That's why the speculation hasn't ended, because we don't believe the post-mortem, what the information that's being given out, and that's what I'm going to look at in a minute. Why we don't believe it. So he says that the rampant speculation surrounding the disappearance of Nicola Bulley will only end if the public believe the post-mortem. Let's see. He said, so now he's claimed that the way the investigation was handled created a void of information. Thank you, Peter. A void which has been filled with gossip, rumours and rampant speculation. Speculation which will only end if the post-mortem update is believed. Speaking to Sky News, he said, talking of the conspiracy theories and the TikTokers and the like, if I may, they're at it again. People are now showing aerial views on social media platforms and saying, well, a vehicle could have parked here or a van could have parked near, which they are. But why are they doing it? They're doing it because they're not happy, you know, because the explanation they've been given doesn't make sense. If the explanation they've been given made sense and everything fitted into place, they wouldn't be doing it. So it's just rampant speculation once again, which the police have got to be aware of. I mean, the police's way of dealing with this has just been, oh, just a load of nutters. You know, they haven't dealt with it. They haven't reassured people. They haven't come out and said, well, look, you know, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. They've just wiped their hands of it and let people speculate. So he's saying they've got to get some strategies as to what they're going to do in the future. So, and then he said, let's just hope that when there is a post-mortem, that there will be, that the information is properly conveyed to the public, that it's believed, it's trusted, and finally, perhaps just finally, this rampant speculation might come to an end and not before time. Well, no, it wasn't, was it? They've had the post-mortem and we're more confused than we were before. You know, the post-mortem is confusing, or is it just what's been leaked to us? That's because we don't know, we can't see. I looked up, and that's only the family can request a copy of the, you know, an exact copy of the post-mortem report, apparently. So, because what we do know about the post-mortem is confusing, we're still confused. You know, it's all contradictory, and I'm going to read. So when I said the other day when I did the members live that I'd like to, so I'm just closing down some windows here. I said, hi, Heather. Hi, Mia. Well, there's still a long way to go, Mia, so you could rewatch, but there's still a lot more to go. So, yeah, so when I sat and I thought, right, where am I going to find the information about this post-mortem, I started thinking about it, I started looking online. So the next thing I want to show you, though, is what I found when I was looking online, first of all. So this is a reminder to everyone. Do not believe everything you read on the internet. Because I was thinking, my God, if somebody didn't really know anything about this case, but just heard the name and thought, oh, that sounds interesting. Hi, Maria King. If somebody went on the internet and thought, oh, let's have a look at what this is about Nicola Bulley, let me show you some of the things that they may come up with. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. Here's one thing they might come up with. What did Nicola Bulley's best friend Nadia Fell say? Post-mortem update and coroner report. Because don't forget, I was looking for the coroner's report and the post-mortem, and this came up. And I thought, I didn't know that Nadia Fell was her best friend. And this is some report in July by Vieta Bilinden or something. Okay, so I thought, oh, this might be interesting. Right, can you see this? Nicola Bulley, a former British diving champion, was reported missing on February the 11th, 2022. Her body was found in the River Trent near Beeston Marina in Nottinghamshire on February the 20th, 2022, after a large-scale search operation involving police, firefighters and volunteers. So she disappeared on January the 27th while walking her dog Willow in the Lancashire community of St Michael's on Wyre. Despite requests from police to stay away, lounge detectives and TikTok users flocked to the city, St Michael's on Wyre, a city, to get involved in the investigation. So, Nicola Bulley's BFF. What did Nadia Fell say? Nicola Bulley's best friend Nadia Fell recently expressed her outrage. Blah, 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 blah. And then it goes on to the Miss Bulley's health problems. So the police decision to go public with Miss Bulley's health problems sparked unpleasant rumours that her two daughters, aged 6 and 9, are not safe with her, according to Nadia Fell. But remember, she's dead, this British diving champion. Anyway, Miss Fell stated she would not accept claims that Nikki was an unfit mother. She called Bulley a great person. She was the best mother in the world. You know, so it's a load of rubbish, isn't it? And then when it comes to the autopsy update, it says Nicola Bulley's death is still being examined as part of post-mortem proceedings. He may have drowned after dropping the ball from his... Sorry, I'm laughing. It's not funny, but it's just so ridiculous. And trying to pick it up, according to police. There are no indications of outside misconduct or meddling at this time. Police are still investigating the hacking of Paul, who he hasn't even mentioned so far, social media accounts. Anyway, basically, you didn't know, did you, that Nicola was a diving champion? What's going on here? Anyway, so that was one that came up. So Nicola Bulley, diving champion. Do you know? So now let me show you another one. I just knocked that one. I'll take that one down. Hi, Carla. So let's find another one. So this is the crap that's on the internet. So what I'm trying to say is people that may be part of Team Paul or Team Emma or Team whoever might criticize people like me, but at least I try and represent things that are true. These are the people that you should be angry about. You should be trying to shut down their whatever they are, websites or whatever. Here's another one. Yeah, Nicola Bulley autopsy report unveiling the findings. On July the 9th, 2020, Nicola Bulley was found dead in her home in Chelmsford, Essex. Her cause of death was initially unknown, but after a Nicola Bulley autopsy report was completed, the cause was revealed to be from multiple stab wounds. The investigation into her death is ongoing. Police are appealing for anyone with information to come forward. Now, and then we've got Nicola's pictures, the river, etc. And then it goes on to say, Nicola Bulley was a young woman with a promising future who tragically lost her life in November 2016. This is what I'm trying to say. There's so much shite. So do you imagine someone who's just thinking, oh, I'll just see what I can find. I've heard the name, or what's this about? Oh, the report revealed that Nicola died as a result of multiple drug ingestion, with traces of cocaine and heroin found in her system. This information was heartbreaking for those who knew her, as they were unaware of any substance abuse problems. The report also revealed the presence of alcohol in her system at the time of death. So this is what I'm just trying to show. This is the crap that you find on the internet. These are the people that they should be angry with, because, I mean, I don't even know who this person is. Oh, it says here, it's clear that her drug addiction had fatal consequences, and they interspace it with all the genuine photos. Those who suffer from it should not be judged harshly or stigmatized. In the case of Nicola Bulley, it's clear that her drug addiction had fatal consequences. Oh, dear me. So I just worry. So interjected with genuine photos, of Nicola, the river, etc. I mean, it just goes on and on. So, if you're watching this, and you are Paul, or you know Paul or Emma or whatever, and you're angry with me for saying anything, at least I try and say things that are true. Hi, Carl. So, what do you think about all that crap? I don't know, Ali, who's policing it. Why are they allowed to do that? My fear is just that anybody who perhaps just wanting to know something about Nicola, and they Google it, like I literally Googled Nicola Bulley autopsy report, and all that rubbish came up, and there were more, there were loads. There's another one here. I'm not even going to read that one out because it's just the same as the others. It's just, it's not true. None of it's true. Yeah, that's another one. There were loads of them, and they all came up when I Googled Nicola Bulley autopsy report. So now, before I do go through the genuine autopsy report or the what we know of it, I just want to show one more piece of news from the time. Now, this just amazed me because, gosh, I probably won't be able to find it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So this was in the Daily Mail. Let me get it up so you can see it. And what's ironic about this, because the Daily Mail, was one of those many newspapers, etc., in the mainstream media, criticising social media people, TikTok sleuths. But they weren't above putting the videos on their own website if they thought it would bring them some viewers or some readers. So this article, now I sort of vaguely remember this, but I don't know what happened about it. This was the 15th of February this year. And this is the moment a stained glove handed to the police looking for Nicola Bulley was found by TikTok sleuths. The way they say it, TikTok sleuth, as police prepare to give updates on the search for the missing mother of two. The dark grey glove was found on February the 7th in the field near the River Wire, where Miss Bulley was walking her dog Willow when she went missing. Footage obtained exclusively by Mail Online, so exclusively, you know, even though they were so down on TikTok and social media, etc. But when they think there might be some views in it for them, then they'll show it then. Anyway, let's see. This is the video. Probably some of you saw this at the time. I don't know who it is or, you know, whether it's still up.
Wait there, don't touch it.
It's like a picture from a club.
This is weird.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, hang on. There's marks across the grass there, look.
No. Don't think of that. You're thinking too far into it. But there's a glove.
I reckon you ring someone. Don't touch it, Sam. Who we're gonna ring?
Hey, that looks like there's blood on it.
No.
Where?
I reckon you ring the police.
Now, let me know in comments, do you remember this video and what happened? Was there anything, was it taken and analysed?
Genuinely. We found the glove where it was.
Shall I?
Yeah. Dan, what do you reckon?
Gonna have to be 101. There's definitely some stains on it, guys.
Don't use your shoe. No, just stay here. Because they'll end up...
So, do you remember that? Let me have a look, see if anyone's commenting on it. Ah, Persephone. Oh gosh. So, welcome. I'm gonna Persephone, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Now, do you thank you, Persephone. The memberships really help because, you know, any of you, if you doing true crime, you rarely get monetized. You know, you don't get monetized. So the memberships, to me, I'd rather have members. Hi, M Ward. Now, some of you will remember that, won't you? 411, you'll probably remember this. Oh, God. I bet there's quite a few of you that remember that video. What happened? So Rustic Rachel's, well, you'll remember because so she mentioned the glove in the press conference, but it was never really mentioned. I mean, it may be that they tested it and there was nothing to it, and fair enough, but they don't mention anything. You know, what did Peter Blexley say? Keep the public, if you keep the public informed, they won't speculate. If you don't inform that, you know, she's very contentious. I'm going to look back at her again. This defensiveness. It's like, oh, don't fucking have a go at me, you know, like, don't, you know, don't get on at me. I'm just the person in charge of the investigation. You know, instead of engaging the public, this is what I've been really impressed with, as you know, with that sheriff that's in charge of the Rachel Marin case over in America. He's so calm and he's so like, he invites the public's help. But when it comes to a point where he can't say any more, he just says, I can't say any more about that. There's the other sheriff that's dealing with the Dennis Rader, the BTK, like they found more victims and found more evidence. You don't be contemptuous. You can't ask the public for their help and then be contemptuous when they give you help. You know, what you've got to do is just say, look, this is the help we need. Thank you for that. This isn't useful or that. She was just, you know, totally defensive, dismissive. You know, and I'm the more I'm thinking about it, because I was thinking, oh God, she must be like quite switched on to have got to where she is, you know, in a man's world, which the Lancashire police will be. And, you know, I had this sort of faith in, you know, that she would sort of, that, you know, and maybe that'll still happen, I don't know, but it's the defensiveness and treating the public like idiots. That is not the way to get people on your side. And if she doesn't know that, she doesn't know much about people. Hi, Lynn. So the police said it wasn't Nicholas. Okay. Okay, so that's the things from back then. So we've had the statement from Peter Blexley, we've had the statement from the ex-Met police officers about the bed, you know, things that we knew really that should have happened but didn't happen because the police were totally, at the end of the day, they were totally, in my eyes, that, you know, people quite often say to me, well, what do you think happened? I don't know what actually happened in the end, but one thing that I do, my opinion, is that the police just cocked up from the beginning, and then after that, everything sort of went wrong. I think there's some kind of foul play, I think, but I don't know if it's foul play in the sense of actually somebody did something to Nicola, or if it's foul play in the sense that she was sort of pushed into it. You know, that's. And sort of part of me thinks, were the family so keen to accept that verdict of accidental death because they just didn't want the other verdict, you know, of it being possibly the big S. So they were grateful for that. Yes, inept Fortean. Hi, Adina. Thank you so much. So now, so what I'm going to look at now. So then I thought, when I came up against all those bloody rubbish, you know, all that rubbish on the internet that wasn't true about the autopsy report. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Lynn Anderson. Oh, you had an accident. Oh, I'm glad to hear you're better. Maybe not better, but you've been doped up, but I hope you're okay. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Yes, hit the like, please. Right. So I suddenly remembered that, of course, a few people that I knew went to the actual inquest themselves. And one in particular wrote notes and sent me copies of her notes, which I've never really sort of read out on here. So what I did is I've taken the notes and I transcribed them onto a Microsoft Word document. And I'm going to read out to you. This is what she actually wrote down as the Home Office forensics pathologist was actually giving her evidence. So now, can you see that? Hang on. Now, I think you should be able to see this. So this is the I transcribed her notes onto this Microsoft Word document, and these are only, you know, these are the notes that she made, so it's not an official thing or whatever, it's just the notes she made at the time as she was actually sat in the inquest. So this was the Home Office pathologist Alison Armour. So the toxicology, ethanol found due to bacterial substances found normally after death. So we knew that there was a trace of alcohol, wasn't there, that they said was from the bacterial substances from the river, not from actually imbibing any alcohol. No alcohol in her system. There was a therapeutic dose of paracetamol. There was propranolol for anxiety, normal dose. Bruising to all 4 limbs, front and back. That is what she said. Bruising to all 4 limbs, front and back. Bruising to chest. Water in lungs. Enlarged in size. That's the lungs. The lungs were enlarged in size. Small amount of water in the abdomen. no broken bones at all. She didn't mention anything about pregnancy or any organs, any other organs. For example, the heart, nothing was mentioned about any other organs. Now, this was very interesting. Brain normal. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this. The lady that I know that was there at the inquest, she had problems knowing how to spell it. So I looked it up on the internet. Petitiae, anybody who knows anything about medical things will know about it. It's sort of pronounced petike or something like that. Hemorrhaging in the two eyes suggests suffocation. So basically what it is little blood vessels in the eyes that burst. She said there was no sign of strangulation, no injury to neck, and she ruled out the third party foul play. There was mud found in her throat, larynx, and vocal cords, also on her face, forehead, and nose. Now, there's somebody somewhere along the line. There was supposed to be some blood on her nose or her chin. I can't find, if anybody knows where I can find the actual evidence of that, like somebody official actually saying that, because I looked for it today and I couldn't find it. Discoloration of skin, skin slippage, marbling due to decomposition, maxillofacial exon restorative work consistent with a recent visit to the dentist on the 23rd of January. I don't know why that says 1920. No, it should be 2023. Okay, so now the thing I want to go back to is this petitiae, hemorrhaging. So the brain was normal. Petitiae hemorrhaging in the two eyes suggests suffocation. So when I was looking into sort of find what is this, I went onto the internet and found it. Now then, let me read you. Yeah. The National Institute of Health says that the pathological findings of drowning are variable and non-specific. Petechial hemorrhages, which are these like little bursts, little hemorrhages in the eye that burst when someone's strangled or... Anyway, petechial hemorrhages involving the periorbital region and the conjunctiva, which will be the eyes, have been described in many causes of death, but are thought to be exceedingly uncommon in cases of drowning. So that really sort of made me think, if drowning can't cause it, let me just see, there's another. Okay. Those are the rates at which were high. No, that's too. Anyway, so it's rare, not never known. So it's very rare. Oh, here's another one here from Science Direct. Authors consider the occurrence of facial petechiae in drowning to be uncommon. Distinctly uncommon, if not rare. So it's not never heard of. Let me just make that clear. Oh, but here it says in a forensic website, the occurrence of facial petechiae in adult drowning found that conjunctival and periorbital hemorrhages in only 4.1% of victims who drown. So it's not unheard of. I just want to make that clear. It's not unheard of, but it's very rare. It only occurs in 4.1% of victims. But she stated that there was petechiae hemorrhaging in the 2 eyes, which suggests suffocation. So, you know, suffocation is not drowning, is it? So is it me or, you know, just anyway, so going on from that, because I'm not a medical person, I'm not, you know, this is not my forte, medical things, etc. But it's just that I remembered these notes suddenly that my friend, one of my subscribers, had gone to the inquest and made these notes. And these are the exact notes that she took after. I mean, I don't want to show her, you know, I won't say who she is, but she's someone who participates regularly. And these are the notes that she made. Petechiae hemorrhaging 2 eyes suggests suffocation, but no sign of strangulation, no injury to neck. And she ruled out third-party foul play, despite the fact that she had bruising to all 4 limbs, front and back, and bruising to chest. See, this is what goes back to what Peter Blexley was saying. He said that if people believe the post-mortem, you know, and feel confident about it, speculation will stop. Well, we don't. So there. So just going down then, I want to talk, because, you know, Mickey, who quite often I've read out things that she's, you know, highlighted. She has a blog where she says things. Now, she went into the autopsy report in one of, though I couldn't find her blog still up there, and she encouraged us to write to the pathologist, remember? And quite a few of my subscribers emailed me and asked for a draft letter that they could send. Nobody's come back to me to say they've had a reply, so I'm presuming they haven't had a reply, or, you know, but at least 5 people asked me, you know, so why haven't anybody had and I wrote to her as well, and I haven't had a reply. Okay, so Mickey highlighted like the guidelines on autopsy practice, autopsies for bodies recovered in the water. And she went on to say, Miss Armour described at the inquest the presence of flecks and fragments of dirt in Miss Bulley's throat, as well as water in and around her lungs. The RCOP, I don't know what that stands for because I'm crap with initials, but there's something to do with forensics, obviously. Their own documentation describes the frequency with which both these phenomena can be seen in non-drowning victims. Sediment is seen in the trachea and main bronchi in 46% of non-drowning cases versus 100% of drowning cases. Fluid is seen in the trachea, main bronchi in 68% of non-drowning cases versus 55% of drowning cases. And the throat on its own is not referenced anywhere in the RCOP guidelines decision-making algorithm. So these are the guidelines that are given to forensic pathologists to tell them. I mean, one thing I have realised as I've been going through this case, it's really difficult to make a decision on a cause of death. Really, really, really difficult, unless it's blatantly obvious. You know, some things are blatantly obvious, aren't they? But there's so many. So these recommendations are given out, you know, if you're going to declare a cause of death as drowning, it has to meet all these criteria. And of course, some causes of death, like shaken baby syndrome, things like that, they're very, very difficult to prove. You know, lots of things are so difficult to prove. So, you know, I'm not denigrating the difficulty of what Miss Armour had to do. But what I'm saying is I just don't get the conclusions. And I know I'm not a forensic pathologist, but, you know, I'm not an idiot. I can sort of work out that when there's bruises all over somebody's body, it's not necessarily from, you know, anyway, that's another thing I'm going to look at, because people say, oh, you can't get bruised after death, etc. But there is a possibility. But anyway, I'm going to look at that in a minute. So Mickey goes on to say, Miss Armour did not mention, to my knowledge, the presence or absence of these features. Sediment in Miss Bulley's stomach or sinuses, frothy fluid in the trachea, fluid in the sinuses, fluid in the mastoid cells, gastric distension, ground grass opacity. All of these, according to the RCOP, are crucial aspects of the autopsy process for bodies found in water. Death by drowning is one of the most difficult causes of death to prove. This is widely acknowledged in the pathology community worldwide, and new techniques and research on the topic are frequently published. Further, there are standard tests. Sorry, my voice is going. There are standard tests that help to establish time and location of death that appear not to have been performed on Miss Bulley, namely diatom testing to so the dogs have started. Riley. So Rocky and Riley, also known as the two little shits, that's their AKA names. So there are standard tests that help to establish time and location of death that appear not to have been performed on Miss Bulley, namely diatom testing to determine the type of sediment or fluid in her lungs and elsewhere, and fingernail testing, which is now commonly used in several countries to help establish an approximate time of death. If these were conducted, the results were never shared at Miss Bulley's inquest. So basically, you know, what it all comes down to is, you know, we're not confident about the post-mortem results. You know, it's you know, so the trouble is we haven't got the actual, you know, transcript of it. But to me, I'm so glad that I remembered about those notes that my subscriber sent me, because, you know, she'd written those in the moment as she was, you know, she switched on, she'd written them in the moment, and they will be, you know, that will be what came up. Hi, Coffee. Oh, don't worry, Claire. I spell wrong all the time. I haven't got any excuse. I don't know what's he been. Why was he? Did Neil Clark say something? So I'm just going through the chat. I don't like to miss them. Paul and Emma are huddled together watching this. Well, if they are, all I want to say is that you want to get onto those people that put all that crap on the internet that's, you know, about Nicola Bulley being a famous British diver and things like that. Hi, Ruth. You are a little bit late. I don't think we've got any trolls on here at the moment, have we? Anyway, Okay. So there you go. Oh, so then I wanted to say to you, gosh, do you know, I'll never forgive. Sorry, just something came up looking at. I'm not going to read out this whole article, but something that really annoyed me about Dr. Aidley. Well, he is a doctor, I suppose. I knew he was going to come up with accidental death when he described Nikki as a holiday swimmer. What a ridiculous remark, a holiday swimmer. What does that mean? A holiday swimmer. As soon as he said that at the inquest, I knew it was all over. He'd already decided. My respect for him has disappeared. Anyway, so I just want to read you one thing, that apparently bruising can appear post-mortem. Now, let me share this with you. Just because we've got to bear this in mind. Okay, so what is this? This is the National Library of Medicine. This guy, Japanese forensic scientist, says bruise-like discolorations. Bruise-like, to be fair, bruise-like discolorations can appear after death. And he goes on to talk about a case of a 37-year-old man who was found prone on a river shore, taken out of the water by a rescuer by grasping at the right upper arm approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes after death. Yeah, having said that, it wasn't 23 days later, was it? But anyway, at inspection, 2 thumb-sized discolorations resembling ante-mortem bruising were observed on the lateral and frontal surfaces of the right arm. Case 2, I'm just thinking about them. A 40-year-old woman was found prone, immersed in a moat and taken out of the water in the above-mentioned manner approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes after death. Again, these are very soon after death, aren't they? So unless she was At inspection, 2 thumb-sized discolorations appearing to be ante-mortem bruising were observed on the inner surface of the right upper arm. Now, the thing is, these people were pulled out of the river very shortly after they died. You know, Nicola was found 23 days later, and she was pulled out of the river in one of those bags that keeps everything together. She couldn't have been pulled out in that way. You know, that's impossible. Nicola had bruises. We've seen bruises that Nicola had on her arm on that. Well, if you remember, you'll have seen the bruises on her neck on one of the photos at Christmas, and we also seen the bruising on her arms. There's a photo of her with quite a big bruise on her arm, which looks like one of those bruises when somebody grabs you by the arm. So anyway, we speculate generally on conditions for generation of post-mortem bruising. Additionally, we believe that post-mortem bruising should be sufficiently considered because it can be important whether a person was grasped when he or she was alive or dead. Of course, it's ultra important. It's ultra important to determine whether the bruises were pre-death or after death. Of course, it's important. You know, it's vital, really. Now, Miss Armour, she didn't comment on that. She didn't comment on the bruises. As far as I know, so anybody tell me that they know any different. But as far as we know, those bruises, we don't know. You know, it was never gone into. She was never asked, well, do you think those bruises were ante-death, ante-mortem or post-mortem? She wasn't asked that. She was just asked, do you think there was any third-party involvement? And she said no, but there was no details. We want details. We want details, don't we? You know, we want to know the details. Of course we want to know the details. So these are the things, you know, everything that I've gone through there is something that bugs me, but also not being found. You know, we keep going back to that. She wasn't found despite, you know, the whole world and his dog literally looking for her 23 days. So where was she? And if she was in the reeds or whatever, you know, so either, again, the police are completely, there's 2 theories there. Either she wasn't in the water, or she was in there, but they're so bloody incompetent, they never found her. So it's one or the other. You know, neither are a very good look, are they? Then the other thing is, what was the other thing? Sorry, it's just gone out my head because I started looking at the Man in Black. I haven't even gone into the Man in Black yet. I mean, I need to do a whole video on him, don't I? You know, because that again, you know, so all these anomalies, what Peter Blakesley said, it was true. If the anomalies don't get addressed to people's satisfaction, there's going to be speculation forever. We'll be still, you know, if I'll still be here at, you know, 80 or whatever on the here, you know, we'll still be saying, oh, and this, you know, it'd be like the Madeleine McCann case. We'll all still be talking about it, you know. But anyway, hi, Amethyst. So, what do you think? So that's it. So that's as close as we can get to the post-mortem report. What people wrote down in the instant. I hope you found it interesting. I found it interesting to look back at some of that news, like from just before she was found. You know, especially that. You know, yeah, Peter. We forget. Thing is, we can't remember everything, and we forget that Peter Folding had said he was starting a land search the following weekend. Oh, boom, up she pops. Apart from the last push, Emma's last push, you know, we're having a last push. And then blow me, what happened? That's Friday. What happens on the Sunday? Up pops Nicola. Hi, Sharon S. Yeah. I think, Sharon, the reason was they said she died on February the 19th because that was the day they found her. So that's what they had to say at the time until the post-mortem. Oh, you mean actually at the inquest? Yeah, yeah. I suppose that's when maybe that's because of once he'd actually made the decision that she died an accidental death. I don't know. The whole thing is just weird. The whole thing is weird. I've never known. Oh gosh, I'd love the Chinese. I am having Chinese tonight, but I'm making it myself. Oh, Maggie, hello. You just arrived. So many of you coming in now, and I'm just finishing. But yeah, you'll have to catch up. So yeah, all these things, and it's like I said about Paul and what have you. It's not just one thing, one strange thing. You think, oh, it's not even just two things. Then there's three things. There's loads of things. You know, here. Riley's come to say hello, so he knows that I'm finishing off. He's like, oh, give me a treat, get me a treat. Come on then, come up a bit more. You can't be seen that much. Come on. Yeah, good. The other dog's coming out now. He's hey, God, put your little face up there. He's so soppy, Riley. So, yeah. Right, I think that's all I had to say tonight. And thank you for all. Gosh, I think I've had. Did I have two new members tonight, or was it three even? I don't know. I've lost track. It's nice to lose track. So I'm looking forward to the members live now on Tuesday, because you know the more members, the better. Obviously for the live chats as well. Was there a troll? Who was the troll? I didn't notice a troll, but do you know, I always get a troll on the nick. I tell you what, I can do videos about all sorts of things, and I don't get trolled. Hi, a spade, a spade. Do you know, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Dental work just days after the welfare check. So after the welfare check, there was a visit to A&E followed by a dentist appointment. Reconstruction, it said, reconstruction. So, you know. He's gone, but I did. Oh, was he a troll? I didn't notice that he said anything weird. Anyway. He said that Emma and Paul would be, yeah, I know, this 23. I don't know if I believe in that sort of thing. But, you know, I hate saying it because some people do. But, yeah, but David, what did he say, the Neil guy? Because I thought all he said was Emma and Paula curled up watching this. I didn't see him say anything horrible, or did he? Maybe I just missed it. Yeah. Listen. So I just want to go back to what I said right at the beginning of this video, just so I have been encouraged. Are you scared him? Well, but I don't mind. I just don't know. What did he say that was bad? Anyway, never mind. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I want to go back to what I said right at the beginning of this video, because this is, that after Nicola was found, the police were still checking CCTV. Well, say were still. They should have done it before Nicola was found, checking CCTV at the garage, because I know this for a fact, because one of my subscribers knows somebody who was questioned, who was there that morning. They were questioned, but long after Nicola had been found. So the police didn't try that hard in the beginning, and I really believe this. I think they didn't try hard in the beginning, and then by the time they suddenly decided to start trying hard, a lot of things, but maybe they're still trying. Hi, little Mo. 411, you're going to get detention. Yeah, frightening. I know, Irene, you're always saying, I don't know what, but who takes photos of a funeral? You wouldn't take photos of a funeral. There was no media there, so there was nobody to. It was a private funeral. Shelley likes detention. Look. Claire asked him a question and he got a snide answer. All right, I'll look back later and see. I missed it. Sorry. Oh, don't want him upsetting Claire. Can't come on and upsetting Claire or anyone. We don't do that here. I love that. Look, David's like the protector. It's lovely. There was a no-fly zone, but yeah, because they didn't want drones going over, taking video of the. It wouldn't have been no-fly zone, no planes going over. There would have been planes going over, but no drones allowed to go over, because some people would have tried to film it. We know that some people would have. So, what picture are you talking about? Coffee in the river. Do you mean when they were taking the body out? The thing is, there's a lot that we forget. Yes, I've got troll detectors. There's no trolls getting here. The only time, honestly, I know when I put a Nicola Bulley, you just know you're going to get trolled. You're going to get nasty comments. Just weird. Why is that when I don't get them on other videos? Very strange. Yeah. The thing is, I don't blame them for having a no drone flight. You don't want people taking videos of the funeral. Yeah, I don't think you did see Nicola. You just saw the body. Well, what do you mean? You could actually see Nicola, not just the bag. Is that what you're saying? It wasn't just a body bag. You could actually see her. Paul's stuck in drunk with the kids, maybe. Heightened levels of diesel exhaust. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, but it's something about the Nicola Bulley case. Face underwater. I haven't seen that video, Coffee. I wouldn't want to see it. I don't think either. I've been sent. I have got some photos that I still don't know what to do with, but I wish really I'd never seen them either. Yeah, if drones would have been allowed above that funeral, there would have. We know for a fact, don't we? People would have put drones. Some creators would have put drones to get that. They just would. Okay, so again, don't forget to like on your way out if you haven't liked on your way in. Thank you ever so much for being here with me. I hope you found it interesting. And I think, we just got to keep plugging away, remembering why we're suspicious, not suspicious as much as why we don't feel that things have been explained properly is because they haven't been explained properly. And if they want people, they don't want people to speculate, they have to give them the information, or at least as much information as they can give them. Yeah. It's true. Mainstream media puts things. The thing is, the mainstream media will always criticise social media, but when it suits them, like with that article we looked at that the Daily Mail showed, because they knew they would get a lot of readers, a lot of views, they put on the video of the, they do it all the time. The only reason they're peed off sometimes with social media is they don't get in there first. Hope I haven't. Did I say hello to little Mo? Yeah, Fortean is good. Okay, so sorry. So unless there's any update on Rachel Marin or whatever it be tomorrow now before I see you, and I don't know where you're going AWOL, David, over the weekend. You said earlier on in the chat. Anyway, have a good time. All of you have a really nice evening, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Remember to always live and love wisely. Take care of you, because you are the most important person. Hi, Hannah. I don't know if I said hello to you. I don't think he got too close to the truth, Coffee. He didn't get too close to the truth. He just irritated everybody. That's what he did, I'm afraid. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Oh, Rio, you're going AWOL next week. Are you going on holiday? Okay, I'm going. So, till I see you again, may your God go with you. Thank you so much.